What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with TechDaily. So every year, I like to make a camera comparison video between the regular iPhone and the Pro iPhone because, well, every year, Apple tends to portray the Pro iPhone as having the better cameras. And every year, I tend to be the voice of reason and show you guys that, in fact, the camera differences between the regular iPhone and the Pro iPhone aren't as significant as Apple makes it seem. This year, with the regular iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Pro, after snapping some 500 pictures with these two phones over the last couple of months, these two phones end up capturing nearly identical pictures and videos a vast majority of the time. If that's all you wanted to hear, that's totally fine. Enjoy the extra couple $100 you saved not getting a Pro iPhone. You aren't missing much. But if you want to go a little more in depth, there are a couple of things you should know when it comes to the camera differences. And depending on how you use your phone, perhaps there's a reason or two to justify getting the iPhone 15 Pro. Before we get into all that, if you did get a new iPhone this year, you're probably going to need some new USB-C accessories. And Basis, this video's sponsor, just launched their new Let's See lineup of accessories that I would definitely recommend. Their free-to-draw cable is a portable, retractable 100-watt fast-charging USB-C cable. That's the smoothest and most durable one available. You can extend it out to whatever length you need and retract it back in with just one hand. Pretty much the perfect portable travel cable. Thin and lightweight, but most importantly, tangle-free. To pair with that, Basis 30-watt GAN 5 wall plug is a small but mighty fast charger that's tinier than Apple's and even more efficient, with enhanced heat dissipation and built-in cooling to charge your iPhone fast and efficiently without overheating anything. And it can juice up your iPhone 15 to 60% in just 30 minutes. For an on-the-go charge, Basis also launched a better alternative to Apple's own discontinued MagSafe battery pack. This is a 10,000 milliamp magnetic wireless charger and a standalone power bank. It can charge your iPhone via MagSafe or with the cable. It can charge other devices via USB-C, and when you need to recharge the power bank itself, you don't need a secondary cable to do so. It supports both power out and power in. And if you just need a regular old USB-C cable, Basis' first ever biodegradable cable replaces traditional plastic materials with 42% cornstarch for a tough and rugged but stylish and eco-friendly look with the same fast and efficient charging capabilities. Check out all of Basis' new Let's See products at the link down below, and be sure to use the discount codes I have there for 5% off. Okay, so I want to just briefly touch on the camera hardware and feature differences first, and then we'll jump into some picture and video samples. The regular iPhone 15 has a 48 megapixel main camera lens. So does the iPhone 15 Pro, but the lenses have different size sensors and different apertures, with the 15 Pro having the better components. And in practice, this allows the iPhone 15 Pro to capture better images in low light and nighttime settings. It's a similar story with the wide-angle lens. Spec-wise, both phones have a 12 megapixel 120 degree ultra-wide secondary camera, but the 15 Pro's ultra-wide again has a slightly better aperture. And then there's that third lens on the iPhone 15 Pro, the telephoto lens, something the regular iPhone 15 does not have. This is for zooming in, of course, and for use with portrait pics. The 15 Pro has up to 3 times optical zoom, which utilizes the actual lens itself to get the very clear zoomed in pics up to that level, and then a combination of the lens and digital zoom to be able to see even farther than the regular iPhone 15's all digital zoom. Collectively, you can zoom in a lot more, and each comparable zoom level should look better on the 15 Pro. And you can also use the telephoto lens with portrait pics on the 15 Pro to get a different look with various depths of field. One other thing, the iPhone 15 Pro has shortcuts to the 24, 28, and 35mm focal lengths, basically slightly different zoom levels. The regular iPhone 15 doesn't have that, but I don't personally view this as a feature. As for the other settings and capabilities, the only other thing that's different with the iPhone 15 Pro is its Pro shooting mode abilities, Pro RAW picture format, Pro Res video recording, but unless you're making feature films or a professional photographer, there's really no need to enable those shooting options for everyday shots. And one last thing, the selfie cameras on these two phones are essentially exactly the same, so nothing to really talk about there. So like I explained at the start, if you just whip out both these phones and snap a regular old daytime shot of just about anything, I don't think you're going to find much of a difference with the results. In fact, I'm stunned that there's almost nothing noticeable that separates the everyday pictures and videos between these two phones, because After spending a few $100s extra on the Pro, especially, you'd want there to be something to talk about, right? Well, if you want to get super nitpicky, there are a couple of things that you could say differentiate them. For one, the color balance, weirdly enough, is a bit off between the two phones. The 15 Pro tends to be more saturated and colorful. The sky is a darker, deeper blue, the trees are a more vibrant orangey yellow. The difference is relatively subtle, and the color balance of your images is something you can always adjust yourself, obviously, but if you wanted to see a difference, there's the first one. Jumping back to the zoom differences, I mentioned that the 15 Pro does have the ability to zoom in more, and in theory should look better, at least a little clearer or sharper with its zoomed in shots, but surprisingly, the difference isn't as drastic as you might expect. And if you want the truly better and more capable zoom, that's actually reserved for the 15 Pro Max, which I did a separate video on as well. Now, I mentioned earlier that the biggest difference between these two phones is really going to be with low light and nighttime shooting. And I sort of want to draw a line here and explain that with scenes and subjects that are maybe dark or shadowy or a bit dim, the difference isn't all that drastic. For example, you can see in the various shadowy areas and dark spots in these images that both phones still pull out a lot of detail, but the 15 Pro isn't like significantly better in any capacity. It's only when you're in a true nighttime setting or shooting an actually dark scene that the 15 Pro comes out way ahead. And let me be clear that the regular iPhone 15 can literally see in the dark perfectly fine too, but the pictures on the 15 Pro are just that much better. More natural looking, brighter, much better balanced. It's clearly the better shot. Beyond that stuff though, I gotta be honest, I just don't really see the big benefit of opting for the Pro iPhone yet again this year, unless you're using some of the Pro camera features or shooting pictures and videos in a more advanced and professional manner. If you take normal everyday pics of your family, your pet, your vacations, and your food, you will likely not even see any noticeable difference capturing those things on the 15 Pro versus the regular iPhone 15. And you'll save yourself a few $100s in the process. Sure, there are some other reasons to get the Pro iPhone if you want, but the Pro camera, in my opinion, isn't exactly the defining factor. But what do you guys think? Is there any real reason to opt for the iPhone 15 Pro's Pro camera this year? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, of course. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video though. Be sure to follow TechDaily on Twitter and subscribe to the TechDaily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.